Hello there, welcome back to the channel, welcome back here to Lunar Zoo. So in our last episode we were starting work on our large cat facility here. We did pretty well. We got our main feature in the middle here, the main building, all done and looking pretty good, even if I do say so myself. I'm very pleased with how all this turned out. And we did our first habitat, which was our lions over here in our African themed area. And again, I'm very pleased with how this all came together. So in today's episode, we're going to continue and we are going to finish off the remaining 4 habitats and the surrounding pathway area. So quite a lot to get through, so I'm not going to dawdle because there's a lot going on. I don't want this video to last forever. So next on the list is this habitat here with our lovely Bengal Tigers in. So this the plan for this particular habitat was to make it very what's the word, jungly, not swampy. Swamp was going to be over here for our panthers, our jaguars. That was going to be quite swampy. This one is going to be jungly. Then we have our cheetahs in here. So this one is going to be again very deserty and then sort of African plainsy. And then this one here are the 2 cougars. And so this one was always going to be kind of mountainous. And that is exactly how it all ends up. Because I have already finished this habitat and I'm now going back and recording these commentaries. So without any further delay, let me crack on and load up the next stage, which is going to be the start of this Bengal tiger habitat over here. So let's move on and see what I get up to next. Okay, so you can see here that I've started working on the outside of the habitat and I've created something very similar to what I did over this side with having this this ditch down the middle as the main barrier between the animals and the guests. Except obviously in this case it's designed to look quite jungly, overgrown. I've put these mist generators down the bottom just to kind of give it a bit of mystery, you know, lots of these nice ferns everywhere and it's all mossy rocks. I think it looks really, really nice. I'm very pleased with how this turned out. One of my usual fallen logs down in there as well. Along the bottom I've coated it in water, as well as putting this these panels down the bottom. You know, my favourite pieces, the planted wooden panels as well. Just put them all along the bottom just to give it that overgrown feeling. And I think it looks awesome, I really do. Actually, look, one of the mist generators you can see there. That's the problem with the mist. When you zoom out, it looks great. As soon as you get close to it, it disappears. Which I kind of get because that means that when you come down here you can actually select items. If you couldn't, it would be a bit tricky, so I do understand that. But yeah, I'm really happy with how that looks as a border. Obviously I will continue the same fence that I've done on this side will continue on this side as well, so there is at least a barrier stopping people falling down the hole, but at least the animals can't get across to eat the guests, which is the main thing, of course. Although clearly they could just walk along the end. That will get sorted out like I've done in the other habitat, same at this end as well. And to be honest, in real life this might not even have been far enough. I think if a tiger really wanted to jump from there to there, it probably could do, but in the game it's enough, as I will show you if I click on this and show you the traversable area. Clearly you can see they can't get out. It thinks they can climb out here somewhere. I'm not too sure why it thinks that, because they can't. But there we go, that's fine. So yeah, so that is the first stage, and so you can get a kind of a sense of the sort of plants that I'll be using in here. Lots of ferns of different types. You've got these sort of little bracken type ones here, you've got the big leafy ones, and then obviously you've got the lovely tree ferns as well, which look really cool in this sort of environment. So yeah, very simple stuff, but when you get it right it can look really good. So that is my basic plan. For the rest of the habitat I had quite a grand plan that I wanted to have a large ruined temple somewhere around here. So that was kind of going to be the main feature of the whole thing, and then all around it would just be obviously I'll put some water in, which I think comes in over here somewhere, and then the rest was just going to be very overgrown and jungly. But I think probably the main feature of the temple is probably what I do next. I'll be honest, I can't quite remember. It's been a few weeks since I actually built this, so I can't remember what order I did everything in. But let's move on, shall we, and see what I do next. And here we go. This is my ruined temple. I was very pleased with how this turned out, actually. I think I managed to make it look suitably ruined and suitably temple-ish. The idea was that I wanted the tigers to actually be able to use it, and they can come up inside here. Let me show you the traversable area. So you can see they can come up in here and shelter in here. I did do a second level, and I tried to construct a stairway at the back here for them to come up, but unfortunately they can't. It just there was no way I could. I know it's probably this bit of rubble at the bottom here stopping them, but actually even when it was clear they couldn't use these steps, unfortunately. But I left it in because I think it looks good anyway. It looks like the animals should be able to. I also put in a little entranceway at the back here as well, but again they can't use that, it's too narrow, but it looks like they can, and that's kind of what matters, isn't it? Even though they can't, it looks like they should be able to. So this whole thing is very simple. It was just made with the different ruined blocks turned upside down, turned sideways. You've got these ones here just turned sideways to make a floor. And then I just kept on layering it up, and then I put this nice sort of central bell tower in with this beautiful big East Asia metal bell at the top. I thought that looks really nice. Just capped it all off with this top piece as well. Whoops, this Indian temple piece I thought looked really good as a sort of a what's it called, like an eye catcher, I suppose. You know, it's the main feature of the whole thing. And then I just went around and put lots of vines hanging on it, put a few of these mangrove apple trees around the outside looking like they're just growing out of little cracks and things, you know, put some vines dangling, lots of ferns, really simple stuff. But once you lay all this stuff up and up and up, you just keep on adding until you get to that stage where you think, yep, that looks quite overgrown, it looks quite real. And yeah, overall very pleased with the result of that. So I think as a central piece, I think it looks pretty cool because you can obviously see it from quite a way away. That was my thinking here. So as you approach here, you can quite clearly see it. I imagine you can see it from quite a way over here as well. Yeah, so if you're walking around over here, this is next to our clouded, is it the clouded leopards or the snow leopards? What are you? You're clouded leopard, aren't you? Yeah, clouded leopard. So you can imagine just walking around here and suddenly you see this huge bell tower in the distance. It's going to make you think, oh, what's over there? Let's go and have a look. In fact, from here you could even see the tigers if they were climbing around inside it. So yeah, so that's a really fun piece to build. That was, I did enjoy that. You can also see I have put in the water. Obviously it needs a bit of decoration, but that was my idea of just having a small pond in there, and all of the habitats will have a piece of water because that's what the cats need. They like to drink and they like to swim. So there we go. So this habitat, really, that was the main work in this habitat. The rest of it is just decoration with more greenery and some rocks. Obviously some work on the water here as well, and then obviously the barrier itself. Obviously all this brick stuff will disappear. So yeah, that took me the longest. That was probably a good hour to an hour and a half of building this central tower here, just to get that looking how I wanted it. So yeah, just worth putting the time and the effort into, I would say. Don't know, let me know what you think if you think it's any good. But yeah, I like it. So and that's what matters. Right, let's move on. Let me load up the next section, and we'll see what I do after this bit. Right, so just a quick update. You can see here I've added this same fencing all along the front with a nice solid beam floor, and then the wooden log posts. So that's just copied directly from this side, just continued over, just to continue that sort of theme. I didn't feel the need to change this fence to match the theme of what's inside the habitat, and it certainly served its purpose, and I think it looks pretty good too. And then again, just using these same panels that I've created with the log pieces and the mesh, just to shape the whole habitat all around here. And obviously that will eventually continue around these other 3 as well. So yeah, that's the edge of the habitat all done, and I just wanted to show you that. So the rest of the habitat is just going to be a lot of decorating and getting some enrichment items in, and a few media boards, I believe, as well. And obviously the pathway will eventually come along here, I think, as well. And actually go all the way around the edge, but yeah, that's that for now. So I'm pretty sure there'll just be one more cut here to get this habitat finished, and then we'll move off. And I think I come and do the Jaguars next, but we'll have to wait and see about that. But yeah, I think just one more cut and we'll have this habitat done. So let's have a look at that. And here we are with our tiger habitat finished. Not too much more in here really, just some decorating. So just I've kept it simple around here. I didn't want to overdo the water. I didn't want to fill it full of rocks and stuff. I just wanted to really keep the jungle theme quite simple. Oh, look at that, one of our tigers carrying a little toy around. So we do have enrichment items as well. We have just a few rocks here and there, just sort of flattened rocks. I didn't want to make big piles of rocks in this habitat. I wanted to keep them fairly flat to the floor. And obviously just used more of the same foliage, the ferns, some in the water here. Put one of these lovely big stone heads in here. I just think they look fantastic. I really do. Absolutely love them. And they look very jungly, so that's cool. Lots of enrichment items just dotted all over the place. And then again, just more of the same ferns all around the outside here, and these nice sort of low-lying bits of rock as well. But I wanted to keep it quite clear. I didn't want it to look too overgrown, because these animals are pretty big and they do need a bit of space to actually walk around. I certainly didn't want to block any of their pathways. Oh, look at them. What a happy couple. Yeah, very nice. So that's it. That is that habitat done. It's pretty simple, but I think it looks pretty good. Certainly if you were a guest walking over on this path here, I think you'd get a pretty good view of them, but it also provides a bit of space for them to get away from people if that's what they want. So yeah, I'm very happy with how this turned out. Oh yes, and a bit of media here, and I believe there's a little bit at this end here as well. So whichever way you approach from, you get to read about the animals on a media board. So that is the tiger habitat done. Let's move around the corner and show you that I have already started over here on the Jaguars as well. So because this is going to be quite a swampy area, that's what I wanted this one to look like. And so I wanted lots of water, and that's what I put in. So I put in a sort of a bendy stream leading to a small pond, and along the bottom of the lake here, you'll see I've already started using these panels, as I always do, just lining the bottom here. Not completely, there's bits where it doesn't quite work, so just wherever I could, just using these green panels here, a couple of rocks here just to fill in a gap as well. I just think that looks really nice, and then once you start building up the foliage all around the outside, it makes the whole thing blend together, so you can't really tell where the water starts and ends. And it looks really nice once it's all done. Oh, look at our little Jaguar having a snooze. I love this black Jaguar. Absolutely lovely creature. We have a black Jaguar at one of the wildlife parks near us, and it's just a stunning creature. It really is. So nice to look at. And yeah, they are in the game as well. Where's the other one gone? Sleeping in here, probably. Yes, there we go. Don't shout too loud, Mr. Zookeeper. You'll wake up the animal. Right, so that's that. So this is where we are going to be working next. Just cracking on in here with basically this is going to have a lot of foliage in this habitat, and I believe I build a like a raised wooden platform on this middle area here as well. But I can't quite remember, I'll be honest. It's been a little while since I actually looked at this. But let's load up my next save point and see what I did next. Right, so quite a jump here. I think at the time when I was building this, I didn't see the need to do lots of saves as I was building, because it's pretty straightforward what I've done. There's no need to really show you stages of development in this one, because it is pretty straightforward. So the first thing I did was put in this basic structure in the middle here with the wooden ramps, just to give the panthers, or the jaguars, sorry, somewhere that they can climb up and snooze, and obviously it can be seen quite nicely from out here. And then the rest of it is really just filling it up with an awful lot of jungle foliage. So we've got all the usual plants, these lovely, what are these ones? The Swiss cheese plant. You've got the lobster claws, obviously the normal ferns. These ones here are pretty cool. What are these? The yuccas. We've got some papyrus in here as well. We have these big things. What are these? Puya plants. What are these ones? The ponytail, is it? Ponytail palm tree, yeah, things like that. So all the usual suspects when it comes to jungle environments. Got a couple of stone heads in there, so we have that one there. We have a nice big one lying in the water over here. I just love these pieces. They're just, yeah, they're very cool when you put them lying on their side like that. And then a few trees. We've got a couple of dead ones in here. Got some of these quivering ones. What are these? Cecropia tree. Those are really cool, and I just sink them in, so that they look more like a big shrub rather than a tree. So it looks like they're just growing on multiple stems, and again, they just look really jungly and very cool. I've got a few taller ones obviously here as well, actually grown as proper trees. Oh, there's our little jaguar having a climb. And what have I done with the water? Not too much with the water. Put a dead tree growing in the water there. Obviously there are plants in the water. Got some ferns and some papyrus and stuff growing under the water there. Got a nice tree trunk there. And the jaguar having a swim, like they do. And then I have squeezed in some enrichment wherever I can. So we have one of the large feeding things there. We have a grab thingy up there. Scratching post over here. Feeding one over here, one of these feeding ones over here, and one or two more I think somewhere. I think there's something in here as well. Yes, there is. I don't know what it is. Block of frozen fish. Yum yum yum. Nice. So there we go. So that's that habitat. I mean, it was a pretty quick process to make it, I'll be honest. And it didn't take too long really, because once you get going with the foliage, you're just plonking stuff down. You move things around a little bit, but generally you get it right first time with this sort of thing. So it's pretty straightforward. There's a cardboard box under there as well. So you're going to play with it? I think he is. Or not. Oh look, the other one's under here as well. Having a little lie down there in the shade. Go on, play with the box. Hey, there we go. Nice to see the animals having a play. So there we go. That is our Jaguar habitat. So really straightforward, but I think it looks fantastic. I absolutely love it. Again, a couple of media things. Got one there. I think I've got one here as well in this gap. So I'm not decorating outside yet. I do in the end, but I do that all at the end once I've finished the whole pathway coming around the outside. So here you can see I decided to bring the barrier in and create this V shape here. Which meant I could bring the pathway in and then continue out here to create a little central point there, which I have to tidy up. But yeah, all of this you can see obviously that it all looks a bit messy along the edges here, but I do sort that out later on. But I didn't want to do any of that as I went along. I decided to wait until I've finished these last two habitats as well. But you can see already the whole area is coming together quite nicely now. I think it's looking pretty snazzy, and yeah, I was very, very happy with how it was progressing at this point. So next on the agenda was going to be this habitat over here, which was our cheetahs, and I wanted to create a sort of a savanna look in this one. So it's fairly bare, even less so than the lions over here. The lions habitat is got quite a lot in it really, but I wanted this one to be pretty plain, because cheetahs are known for hunting on the plains and savannas, and they don't really they don't hang around where there's lots of trees and things. Generally they're hiding in long grass, stalking their prey and getting ready to go on a hunt. So that's what I wanted to try and recreate here. So that is what we're going to have a look at next. But for now, that is our Jaguar Habitat there. Just one more quick look at that, because I think it looks great. Let me know what you think. But I think as a jungle habitat, I think that's turned out rather nice. And the Jaguars are very happy in there. Oh, look at the cheetahs both having a drink. Brilliant. Right, let's move on then. Let me load up the next stage and we'll see what I do next in this cheetah habitat. And here we are with our first part of the cheetah habitat. So again, like I said, very plain. I just wanted to dot 3 of these trees in. This is the sort of trees that you'd find the cheetahs lying underneath, or possibly even climbing into if they, if they wanted to get up off the floor. So pretty plain. Obviously, I've given them some water and put in the little island here. I thought that looked rather nice, and I wanted to keep them separated from the animals next door. And I'll be doing that in both of these habitats, because I don't really want the animals to be able to see each other, because that's not realistic. In a real zoo, they wouldn't have them so that they could look at each other through the bars, and they certainly wouldn't have it with just a single bit of mesh here, where the animals could actually attack each other through the mesh. That certainly wouldn't happen. And so to make sure that that's the case, I've used these lovely desert rocks down this side and just created a sort of a false barrier between the animals, so they're not really aware of each other. Again, realistically, I don't think it would happen in a real zoo. I don't think they would have the cats quite that close like that. A lot of animals can obviously smell very well, so they'd be able to smell the other animals and it might upset them. But it looks good. And I think I end up doing the same down this side as well. Yeah, that's the basic layout of this habitat. It's yeah, pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Not a lot more going on in here. I think, like I say, the rocks down here, just a few bits of decoration in here. Oh look, our cougars can climb, interestingly, up onto the roof. Let me just show you. So yeah, so they can actually climb up this log here and get onto the roof. And if they wanted to, they could just run away. But they don't. It's quite funny. I've seen them climb up onto this piece once or twice, and then they just climb back down again. Look, I think he's going to go up there again. Off he goes. Let's see where he goes, shall we? I probably should do something about it, but I kind of like the fact that he goes up there and he doesn't run away. He just comes back. See? He's a very well-behaved cougar, that one. It's like he's just getting a good view. And then he's like, no, do you know what? I want to stay in my own home. Brilliant. Anyway, let's move on with our cheetahs, shall we? Oh, look, they're just having their dinner. Yum, yum, yum. Right, yeah, let's move on and see what else I get up to in this habitat. And our cheetah habitat is done. Again, no need really to show you lots of stages for this, because it's all pretty straightforward. So you can see I've just put some gentle foliage in, just put a few reeds in the water here. Actually, what's this one? It's not. It's an elephant grass, that one, yeah. Just a few little sort of tufts of grass around the outside, a couple of cacti. Nothing too much, just scattered bits and pieces here and there. A few little enrichment items put around, a box, a food thing there. You've got another box here, scent marker, scratching post, a little scratching sniffy, what's that one? A rubbing pad, that's the one. And then their main food one here, just nice and out in the open so that people can stand here and watch them eat whatever gets dangled from this bit of rope for them. I did put, oh yes, I put something on the island. What's that? Oh, a blood pumpkin, yeah. So you got the blood pumpkin on the island, and I had to put obviously this little rock in here for the staff to actually walk across and get to that. And then, just another couple of little rocks here. And again, I've done this rock work all the way down this side as well, just creating that false barrier between the two habitats. So really, really straightforward actually, that habitat, but I think it looks really nice. You can clearly you can see the cheetahs enjoying it, and they've got plenty of space. Obviously, cheetahs are very active animals. They like to run around, so they've got to have a lot of space. They certainly don't want it to be overcrowded, so that's what they've got here. They've got a good mix of shade and sunshine as well. So yeah, I'm really happy with how it turned out. It's simple, but it's exactly how I wanted it. So very pleased with that habitat, and the Jaguars are, sorry, the cheetahs are as well. I asked them personally and they said yes, they're very happy with it, so that's good. Now, it was at this stage that I decided roughly what I wanted to do with the outside of the habitat here. So as you can see, this shelter here, for those of you who remember, I've copied this from our tortoise habitat that I did right back at the start here. I liked the shelter, it was just the right size and shape for what I wanted. So I created this, this extra bit of pathway in here, this nice round area, and I've put in the shelter, a couple of benches, and then I wanted to do rock work around the edges here to cover up all these sort of bare patches, make it look nice. So I used different rocks depending on what the habitat is inside. So these rocks are nice and mossy and they just flow all the way around the outside here. And then when you get to here, they become desert ones, and that will go all the way along the edge of the habitat here. And it just smartens it up, you know, it just makes it look blended in, makes it, you can, obviously I've left the actual edge in, not tried to cover that up completely, because it's realistic that they might just pile rocks along the edge. So that's fine. Obviously at the moment the path stops there because I hadn't done this habitat, but over the other side here you can see again I've gone with the mossy rocks around the outside of the swamp habitat, and that continues up to there, and then where we get to the African lions I've gone back to the desert rocks, and they just cover up all the way down here to this edge here. And there's also I can't remember if that was there before, but there's a media board there. That one was definitely there already, wasn't it? You've got this one here that I can't remember if I pointed that out before, and the cheetahs have one at this end and they have one under here as well. So yes, you can see the whole area coming together quite nicely there. I think it's looking pretty cool. I do also put another one of these shelters over on this side eventually, where I've created again this sort of round area here. But next up and last up is our cougar habitat. As you can see, it's looking a bit bare at the moment. Now this habitat is the one that I am happy with, but I think it's the one that I may have been able to do a better job with, but I'll let you be the judge of that. So what I was going for, I wanted to use a lot of rock work to create a sort of mountain environment with little walkways, which unfortunately is not easy to do because of the space that the animals need in game to actually walk around. I wanted to create lots of little passageways, but obviously the animals can't traverse them, so it doesn't work properly. So you have to make all the passageways quite wide, and it didn't allow me to do what I wanted to do. But I did my best, so you'll have to just judge me and let me know what you think. But let me load up the next stage and show you how I got started with it. Okay, so hopefully you sort of get an idea of what I was trying to create here. So I did a lot of landscaping here, so you can see I really dropped the level of the land downwards, and that's because I wanted to create multiple levels, but I didn't want to build upwards. I wanted it to be level and then go down. So that's what I've done. So you've got the water at the deepest point there, and what I'm trying to do with this rock work is to create walkways. So I wanted it to have, you know, this low walkway here, and then they can get to the end and they can come into this corner piece here, or they can go up this ramp and explore up here. Obviously there'll be rock work sort of separating the two, and then the idea along here was that this was going to be a sort of a rocky cliff with a cave underneath. So yeah, hopefully you can kind of see what I'm working towards, but of course it gets tricky with the traversable areas. So let me show you at the moment. That's the traversable area. So you can see they can use everything that I've put down. However, as soon as you start putting in the rocks here to separate and fill in all these gaps, you end up making the traversable areas disappear. So there's a lot of work that went on to try and keep these wide enough for the animals to actually use them. So yeah, very frustrating, and it like I said, it just doesn't quite allow you to be as creative as you want to be. But there we go, we have to work within the confines of the game, don't we, unfortunately, but that's life. So let me continue. Let me show you how it progressed. And this is what I've ended up with, and it does work. And I think it does look okay. I mean, please do let me know what you think. So I just wanted it to look like a mountain. So as you can see, the original pathways are still in here, and the animals do use them. So let me show you their traversable area. Oh yes, they do climb the trees as well. So they can come across the pathway here, they can go around the corner, they can come into this piece here, and they can climb up through here and come and get their blood pumpkin, as you can see. I've also put a little bed up here. So yeah, so I went along and I filled in all these gaps here, and then I've done the same along the back. Obviously put a piece along the back wall as well to get it all looking the same. I wanted it so they couldn't go straight from here to here, they have to come the long way and through these tunnels. I put these archways on. I just wanted something in here so they looked, I thought they looked okay. And then down here again, just made this sort of artificial cliff coming down here with a small cave area underneath here. Looks a bit odd because I've got this archway here didn't reach the bottom, so I flipped it upside down to create these bottom pieces, but obviously one of them ends up coming down through the ground here, but I think I can kind of get away with that. So there's just a bit of bedding down there as well. Just gives them an alternate place to sleep if they want. You can see the animals jump all over the place. In fact, they do go from up there to there. They shouldn't be able to, but they can. Not much I could do about that really. But I'm fine with it. It looks, I think it looks pretty cool. They've also got another bed over here, so they've got lots of different areas where they can come and lie down, and that's a good thing. I like to give the animals lots of choices. As far as foliage goes, I didn't want to again overdo it, so fairly sparse. A few bramble bushes put around. I didn't want any colour because I wanted the theme obviously is mountains, so I wanted it to look a bit like quite high mountains. So there wouldn't be a lot of flowers. It would just be really hardy stuff that can survive in sort of a harsh environment. That was the idea. I like that the water is down here. It's obviously once this wall goes, it means that the people can really look downwards towards the animals and watch them swimming around down there. The trees are these, I think they're Himalayan birch. Yeah, Himalayan birch trees mostly. Again, just they look mountainous, don't they? So that's all pretty cool. Few along the edge here, just growing out of the side. And then some enrichment items. So you've got obviously this feeder down here, you've got a cardboard box, you've got a scratching post here right up where the people can see. You've got something in the corner here. What's this one? Frozen fish again. You've got the blood pumpkin over here. Got a scent sack, I think this one is here. And I'll probably put something indoors. Yes, I put another feeder indoors there as well. So they've got plenty of things to occupy them, lots to keep them busy. I think this dude's about to eat his lunch. Let's watch him do that. I love it. Go on, you can do it. No, is he going to give up? Oh, what a quitter. No, look, he's just playing hard to get. He's going to go for it. Of course he is. He wants his lunch. Here he goes. He'll get it this time. Oh, he's not very good, is he? He's not jumping very high. And he's playing games again. Look, he's turning his back. He's making the meat think, oh, I'm safe. He's not going to eat me. And one more go. Oh, look at that. He didn't even have to jump for it. Just the meat just gave up and fell to the floor. Oh dear, it's quite funny, isn't it? So there we go. That is what our habitat ended up looking like. And yeah, I'm pretty pleased with it. I mean, it's what I could do with the pieces that I had, basically. I think it looks fairly mountainous. Yeah, I don't know. Let me know what you think. I like it. It's not my favourite habitat that I've built. It's certainly not my favourite out of these ones that I've done here. But on the whole, I think it did turn out pretty good. So all that's left now is just to finish off this area outside the habitat here, and then just to decorate again this area over here as well. I think that might be it. I'm not sure. I might do some decorating possibly down on this keeper hut as well. I'm not too sure what I do in this segment. I will have to let you know. In fact, I don't think I do. I think that keeper hut might form next to part of the next habitat, which I believe I fill in this gap here. Or that might even be the one after. I've done a few. Let me be honest. I have actually done a couple more habitats already in this zoo, but I can't remember what order I do them in. So we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, I think the next bit of this video is just going to be filling in the details around the outside. So let me load it up and see what else I do. yeah, so there we go. That's what I've done. I've just continued this same sort of rockwork themed along here. So these simple grey rocks just filling in the edge all the way along our cougar habitat here. Got the information board on the end as well. So very simple, but I think it looks pretty cool actually. Oh, excuse me. So if you're walking along here, I think it would be quite a nice habitat to look into. I like that you can watch the cougars playing around in the water down below. You can just about see into the cave here as well. And obviously if the cougars are sleeping here, you'd get a nice close-up view of them, but you can't quite see everywhere, which is nice. So the animals can get away if they go up into this top section here, like you can see just there with the blood pumpkin. You can't really see that. So, it's always good for the animals to be able to get somewhere out of sight. So yeah, I think that's worked out pretty nice. And then, like I said, I've just decorated this piece over here as well. So we put in another one of these shelters and a couple of benches. Had this middle section here to fill in, so I just put a rock in there. And then I found that this tree fit perfectly in here, just underneath this. So that's what I've put in there, one of these ponytail palm trees. Yeah, I love these. They're absolutely wonderful looking things. And because it fit perfectly in there, I thought, yeah, why not? Let's stick a little tree in the middle there. I think that looks pretty nifty. So you can sit down on these benches here and just watch the lions there, and over here you can look into the Jaguar Habitat as well. And it's just nice. Like obviously we're doing in the rest of this park. This park is all about buildings, structures, and foliage. And as you can see, I think this whole project here has certainly fulfilled that. I've got obviously the main building, you've got this tunnelway, you've got this large temple, you've got a couple of nice shelters on the outside, a shelter inside the habitat there. So there's lots going on, and obviously once you build more around the outside, I can do even more sort of linking together of areas. So yeah, I'm very happy with how this turned out. As a big project, it was very big, very grand, very what's the word I'm looking for? I suppose complicated. I guess when you look back at when I was designing this building in the middle here for the first time, it was pretty tricky and I didn't really know what I was doing, but I think it's turned out really nice. I'm very pleased with the whole project actually. I think it looks very cool, and I like that it's all cats. This is cat corner kind of thing. So it keeps all the animals in one place. So yeah, there we go. That is our giant cat arena. So you can come here and walk around and see 5 different types of cat in one place. Especially if you come into the middle building here and they're all asleep, you can see 5 of them within one building. You can just walk around here and just see them all asleep. Although at the moment, there's nothing to be seen. There we go. There's a cougar and it ran away. And no, nothing in there. Nothing in there. So yes, because everyone's active, there's nothing to look at the moment. Never mind. In theory, you could see them all in one place. So there we go. So that is the end of the video, and I think you'll hopefully agree that this zoo is coming together really nicely. I'm very pleased with how it is coming along. I'm having a lot of fun here. I'm really enjoying working with structures more, and just trying to come up with new ideas and new creative things to put in the zoo. So yeah, let me know what you think, and please do leave some comments, and if you just got a second, please do hit the like button as well. I've never really asked people to do this before, but I have noticed how much more YouTube will share my videos if people hit the like button. And of course, the more people that get to watch my videos, the more enjoyment we all get out of it. So, if you do want to hit the like button, that would be fantastic, but don't feel that you have to. As long as you're enjoying the videos and I'm enjoying making them, that's what really matters. So next episode, I think the next episode is based over here. I can tell you now, there's a habitat here, there's also a habitat in this gap over here, and there is also another habitat over this side. So I've done 3 more. I just can't remember what order I did them in, I'll be honest, but I think the next one is this area here, and it's monkeys of some sort, chimpanzees I believe. and it's actually one of the, I think, the best habitats I've ever built. So there's a little bit of a teaser for you there. Of course, if I've got it wrong and it's actually the habitat over here that I built next, then I apologise, but it's a future teaser anyway. At some point in the next couple of videos, you will see me build a chimpanzee habitat over here, which I'm very, very pleased with indeed. But we shall see what you think. Until then, thanks very much for joining me and spending a bit of your time watching me create this wonderful cat arena over here. Please do let me know what you think, and hopefully I will see you again very soon. So take care of yourselves, and that'll be it for today. Thank you very much, and goodbye.